I remember a veteran pulling me aside, Paul, when I was a rookie at the CME, and he said
Yeah.
this to me. He said, "Kid, this is a tough way to make an easy buck," and and he sure was right.
He was
So
spot
you,
on, I think.
yeah, yeah. So you've been at it a long time, since the '80s.
Yeah, in fact, I mean, I can give you, a lot of similar types of stories, really. I had the same type of thing. I mean, I'm a specialist Forex trader, but in the beginning, Dale, I was the world's worst Forex trader. I mean, I came to Forex via some other markets, but I
Yeah,
also had old guys who just said to me, same type of thing, kid, you're losing money the whole time. You better watch what I'm doing and copy me as opposed to trying to do it on your own.
yeah.
And
So
that's what happened, but it took me a long time. Took me a long time.
yeah, when we're young, we have egos and we think we don't need anybody. And as
Yeah.
time passed, I've realized the value of intelligence gathering, of sharing of views with people who I have respect for their work and their credibility. In
Yeah.
fact, what happens here in our community sometimes is I'll have an idea, Paul, and
Yep.
I have a completely different method, and other traders that I respect end up looking for the same type of outcome. It gives me more conviction about what I'm seeing.
Okay. Yeah.
When I was
Okay.
young, I only wanted to know what people were doing so I could fade them. So I like what you said. Success in trading
Yeah.
comes from within, not
Yeah.
from an indicator. So,
Absolutely.
all right. So tell me your inner man story of what you had
Well,
to overcome.
yeah. Let me tell you a quick anecdote. Make people laugh a little bit because it's similar to the story you just told. Now, when I was very young man, so I was working in the city of London. So I was born very close to the city, a bit like the guys who were born in Chicago. It was the obvious thing to go uptown and work on the markets. So that's what I did. But I didn't know what I was doing, and I was working for commodity brokers. We actually had to clear the trades of the director, of the directors of the commodity brokers, and we discovered that he was always losing. So we took the other sides of his trades. Whatever he did, we went the other way, which worked fine. We started making money until he found out what we were doing, and he stopped showing us his trades, as it were, with his broker slips. So that was my first introduction to things. Um, and then after that, I
You
worked
know what,
actually.
Paul? You know what I've seen sometimes people could be on the have opposing views on a market, and depending upon their time frame, they could
Yeah,
both be right and they could both be wrong.
that's true. That's true. Yeah, yeah. But in
So
this case, I think we were about 21 years old, and we just basically did the opposite of what he was doing, And then we saw when he closed out, and we quickly also closed out. But I spent some time on the London Financial Futures Exchange,
life,
in life there, yeah, which unfortunately is, the floor is now no more.
yeah, it's a
And
bowling alley. They're all
it's
bowling
bowling.
alleys now. Yeah.
They're all bowling alleys now, so we're all looking at screens. And now I'm actually working in one of the multinational banks over here. I'm looking at screens all day long, but unfortunately we have this lockdown here going on at the moment, which is due to this unfortunate incident we had in Paris, and then over here. And the banks have all been closed for 4 days, and so I'm sitting at home, surrounded, as you can see, at the back of me with my daughter's drawing stuck on a radiator, and I'm
So
just
there's
trading from
you're in the
here.
UK. You're in the
I'm
UK
in,
though, right?
in Belgium. I'm in Belgium, so it's where
Oh,
it's
you're
all
in
been.
Belgium. Oh, so
Yeah, I'm in
yeah.
Brussels. I'm in
Okay.
Brussels, so they told us to stay indoors, keep away from the window,
Right.
the whole thing. Huh? So
Wow.
the
You know,
banks are
you know,
closed.
you know what? The takeaway for me,
Yep,
and it's always tragic when there's a loss of life due to terrorism.
yep,
But the takeaway for me also was how quickly the world could change, how quickly borders can close, how
yep,
quickly life can change. And you're a live example of living in a country with emergency measures. And,
yep.
to me, the borders, Donald Trump talks about building a wall. I think it's going to be built to keep us in, not to keep
Yeah,
people
I
out.
think you're right. I think you're right. Yeah, I mean
Yeah. So,
it's really it's a real eye opener because it's the first thing they've had here since 1944, since
right.
the end of the Second World War. It's been okay, and then all of a sudden it's blown up. So
Let me ask you this. It's only been four
yeah.
days, but is there still plenty of food on the grocery shelves, or have
It's
all the
unbelievable.
Go
It's
ahead.
unbelievable. All the pasta and the sugar, it got cleared in about a day and a half.
Yeah, see, so that's what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the transportation system, and this is kind of like another nail in the coffin for the Eurozone, isn't it?
Yeah.
If things were weak, no matter what Draghi tries to do and which way he wants to drive the euro, that borders being shut and
Yeah.
business not being able to conduct business cannot be healthy for recovery.
It's going to be very serious because what I think they should have done is we should have all gone to work, but actually we did the reverse. And the economy is already going to take a hit. They're closing Christmas market. They're closing end of year festivities, all that type of thing. And the shop owners are not going to take money. And it's a serious, very serious business.
Okay, Paul. So
Yeah.
I'm wishing you, peace and things getting back to normal. But
Yeah.
in my gut, Paul, with what I've been seeing happening here, I've been around a long time, maybe as long as you. I started as a runner in 1976 when they were trading currencies on a chalkboard at the Merc, and what I see happening now is our civil liberties being threatened for us to be safe. I don't think it's a good trade to trade freedom for safety. What do you think?
Well, yeah, I think that's what's happening, and I think the problem is that here, with the open borders, it's there's been a huge problem created, I think, without people really realizing it, and now I don't think they can actually get the genie back into the bottle. That's the problem. So
Okay,
what's
so
going to happen?
So all we could do is just try and pull pips out of the market and
Try and pull pips out of the market.
But you know what? You're a great example of that. People should be prepared for an emergency, and I confess, even though I have all these beliefs, I'm probably typical. I don't have 30 days of food stored up in my house, or all the things that you need should there be some type of societal breakdown. But you're a live example of that. You need to be prepared for anything.
You should, yeah. I guess the guys here, since there's still people around from 1940, obviously, and they know what happened. Then that's why I think within a day they cleared the supermarket down the road from it. It's completely empty. The pasta, the tins and things completely gone.
All right.
So anyway, but the analogy that I wanted to use actually with regard to trading on those sad notes is the fact that actually I'm a reversal trader, which means that what I'm looking for is I'm looking to reverse. I'm looking to take. I'm a contrarian trader.
You're like me. A friend of mine said, "Dale, you like to hear the ice crack."
Yeah, that's it.
I'm always looking. And Paul Tudor Jones said, "All the big money's made at the turns, Paul." So are you seeing one developing in Euro down here?
Yeah.
That's what.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always trying to play the reversal. So, for example, this morning on the live trading that we did, I have a very small community because I'm actually still working for the banks. But obviously, as I said, you can see I'm at home today, which is exceptional. I have a small community of people on Twitter that follow me, and
if you want to share your screen, Paul, you go up to the left. You go up to the left-hand corner where that green box is, and click that. And
screen share.
I'm assuming when I see your charts are going to be, of course, we see you wearing clothes, but you trade naked. Right?
I tell you, this is a good show, Dale. I'm going to come on here more because just for the joke.
You know what? You know what, laughter and compelling information is a powerful combination. If we can trade and laugh together, what's better?
Absolutely.
All right, so I was right. Okay, so I'm right, and everything's naked except
So let me
go ahead.
Yeah, let me just explain what I'm doing. So this is again something, and I give this freely to anybody who's on this webinar podcast, because this can help you to really reinforce your trading. And this is what I was taught years and years ago by these guys on the floor and in the old trading houses there, that these levels, the red ones I have on here, these are weekly levels. And I don't know if you can see this, but it says 2003, February the 1st, 2003. This is a monthly level from 2003, February 2003. And yesterday we had three pings, one 2, 3, and even nearly 4 off this monthly level from 2003.
That's amazing. That's amazing that you use a telescope and go back that far for pivots. That's a pearl. That's a pearl.
Yeah. And there's another one down here. This one, believe it or not, if I just get the thing to show, I think is from 1999 November. And it just pinged off this one. It pinged off there.
That, when the euro was introduced, or was that Deutschmark translation?
This is after the introduction. So we're at 105. Remember, it went down to about 85 cents, I think, and then we came strongly back up. We went through 105, 110, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. So it's 1999. But what I'm looking at is I'm looking at a reversal of these major monthlies. The blue are weeklies. These also work, but the monthlies work very, very strong. This one down here is a multi-monthly with a weekly. So this one is the November 2015 monthly with the 1999 June weekly. And see how this thing is pinged down here? And if you go to the definition on the 1 minute chart, you will get the reversal in there. And I'm looking for the reversal. I'm a price action momentum trader, which means the reversal. I'm looking for momentum off the actual reversal. So if, for example, here
momentum to me, I use RSI, okay, because I look for confirmed highs and lows and certain divergence setups. So how do you know if momentum is waning without using a momentum indicator?
Yeah. So what I'm looking at, for example, on let's just take this one here. So the price has come down to the monthly. What I'm looking at is for the candles that push away. I'm on the. Let's just go down to 5 minutes, see if we can see this one. Well, let's take the top one here. Actually, the candles that push away from the level. I need to see that they are of significant size and proportion compared to the candles that are making it that got price to the top in the first place. So, for example, here, this candle here is sufficiently large, just about to get me interested in that trade. And we actually shorted at 82 on this one. The top was 89. And we had guys on the Twitter feed who rode this thing the whole way down based on that. And if this one wasn't enough, I would have taken this one here, again, based on this reversal. And the second thing to say is I'm looking to trade London Open. I'm on Central European time here, so that's 9:20 here, which is 8:20 London. And I'm looking for 3 to 5 times a week for them to reverse the price during the London session. So if you go back in the charts, so anybody can do this, just put it on 15 minute or whatever, you will see a reversal between 8:30 and 11:30. So that's about 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. Eastern. You will see this London reversal. If you get a London reversal with a large, a good weekly or a monthly or a multi-monthly, and you get some good momentum price action candles like that, normally the trade moves away and you get the reversal. So it's the big guys just switching in one way and switching out the other. In fact.
So I always had the intuition that most of the major reversals happen in London. We get some here in the U.S., but with all your experience, the majority of turning points happen in the London session. Is that correct?
So yeah, it seems to be. It's about 3 to 5 days a week. 3 out of 5 you get Monday's the startup day, but Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday generally you will get the reversal in London. Then very often when the New York session opens, it doesn't look like that's going to happen today because of obviously it's a quiet market and they're closing for tomorrow. You will get the counter reversal off something like this, will then come back up and retrace 50% of the market, something of that order.
Okay, so these look to me like day trades, possibly 2-3 days swings. Is that your style?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. I just wanted to show you something. Actually, let me just find 2 to 3 days if I can. Let me just get to here. So what the analysis? What I'm doing is just take these indicators off. That's my high-low levels. Okay, get rid of them. Okay, 15 minutes. I'm basically going to the 4 hour to start off with, also the daily. And so the premise is this. This is the June high where Draghi said, he'll do whatever it takes. So we came down.
We're still on the 5 minute for some reason.
Oh, okay. Still in 5 minutes. Oh, hang on. What do I have to do there? Screen share. Maybe it takes time. I don't know. Is this the one you're on now? Are you still on this one?
I'm still on the 5 minute.
Is that 30 minute now? You on that one?
Still 5.
Still 5. Okay.
So on your screen, you're showing the 30, but it's not translating here. Why don't you
Okay.
turn the screen share off and then turn it back on and see if that does
Yeah.
it.
Okay. Let me just turn this off. Screen share. Stop. Okay.
Now you're back.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, I guess somebody just coming home here. Okay. So let me just go back to the. I just want to show you Euro Daily. Can you see Euro Daily now?
I'm seeing you on camera now. So you have
Okay.
to start the screen share again.
Start screen share. Start screen share. Let me get Euro Daily. Okay, let's try that one. Okay.
Got it.
You got it? Okay, so the analysis that I'm doing in the morning is very quick, very simple. So the premise is, this is the June 2014 Draghi. He'll do whatever it takes. So we know all about this one that comes down.
Right.
This is the February 2015 low. And we're just, it's a price action looking at the higher lows here coming up. And this has now been invalidated, and we're basically just trending down. And the question is, are we going to get down to here or get down to there? I don't know, Dale. I never make a prediction. This is something which I realized because I was tying myself in knots trying to make predictions. I take the stress off. I don't know what's going to happen, and all I'm doing is I'm trading price if and when it reverses at those monthly or those weekly levels. Because the big guys, they know more than I do. When they, when you put those guys together, whoever it is, the big banks, the Barclays and everything, and Deutsche and these guys, they are the people that are moving the market, especially in London. And so I'm just going with them when I see that the momentum has been set up by them, and I'm going with them in that direction.
Okay, so you might have a bias, but you need the price action to confirm your bias.
Indeed,
so,
that's it.
You're
My
a
bias,
reversal trader. You would probably have a hard time shorting the euro down here. So, right?
Yeah. Well, so the daily obviously is downer. I mean, the pullbacks. This is what I explained. The pullbacks here is almost nothing
Right.
pullback. You keep getting these thrusts coming down. Great price action momentum candles, slowing a little bit, but it's still going down. And what's to stop this thing going here? Almost nothing.
Right.
But I will do a reversal if I will take the reversal if it's played intraday. But I won't hold that overnight. I will close that out at the end of the day. So long as those banks and those people are in there and they're in front of me, and I'm just like the feeder fish on the back of one of those sharks you see on the nature programs.
Right. So those monthly levels where there was confluence, where they were very close together. What was the number on those levels again, Paul?
Let's just switch back to the. Okay, let's go back. I'll stop the screen share.
You should just be able to go to, if you're switching your desktop, you should be able to just show a different chart. I'm still looking at the daily though.
Yeah. Okay. Can you see the day? Is that still the daily?
Still the daily.
Okay, let me stop. Okay, stopped it.
Shouldn't have to do that, but.
Okay, but I'm back on the 5 minute here now. Okay, now start up again. Okay, let's get this one. Okay, so for example, this one down here is a multi-month. There's 2 months worth of. There's 2 months, 2011. 11 November 2015, and the 1999 June plus a weekly. So this is ultimately a very strong level, and I would be very surprised if that certainly broke this week. Obviously, it's closed tomorrow, and Friday's it'll be a slow session. But if this breaks on Monday, if they come back with a vengeance and they break this one, then we're going downsides, and I'll be short with them the whole way down.
Okay.
So these things.
Go ahead.
Now these things are very strong if you that they manifest themselves. This one up here, for example, is a similar type of one to down here. So it's the multi-monthly. I've got a couple of months up there, sorry, a couple of weeks and one monthly. See how it just pinged up against there? And there's a wall of people there ready to take the opposing side. When these candles are going up, it looks very, very bullish going into these moves, as it so often does. And that's the point when they reverse the market and get everybody facing in another way. And the other thing which I like to tell people is it's just sometimes a difficult concept for people to understand, but if you've been on the floor, you'll know this, that here we have some series of 1, 2, 3 triple top and then one a little bit higher. Why does this thing need to go up a little bit higher? Why did they need to take it up here? Because they already knew. Yeah, taking out the stops. They want to get people long here because they want to be short. They take people long. They get short here, and then down it comes, and they're offloading as we come down here. And that's the way. Especially on the British pound. It's very, very aggressive. London traders. That's how they trade this. You can see it all over the place. There's one here which they did yesterday. We pushed through the monthly. These are the best ones that I love. When it pushes through and then reverses, you get this type of candle, and you know you're on a winner on the upside.
Okay, so I also noticed in your writings that you talk about people who buy all the hype on the internet, and most people blow up their accounts because they're trading with 250 to 1 and too much leverage. In fact, I've written a song, Use Less Leverage when you trade the markets, use wider stops so you don't get picked off. What kind of leverage do you recommend in your community? Well,
I'm very, very conservative, and the reason, one of the reasons is it took me ages, it took me some time to understand this. As you say, when you're a bit younger, you think you can do silly things. But when I started to understand it was when they had in the contracts at the bank that if you blow up the client's account for him, you're personally responsible, and they will come and take your house as a result if you blow it up. So that tends to sort of slow you down a bit. And so I'm in between about 3 to 5 to 1 leverage. So if something really bad goes wrong, for example, the Swiss National Bank stand up and they say they're going to take up the peg, okay, I will get hit if I'm in the market, obviously, because stops won't hold and all the rest of it, but I will still be here tomorrow, which is the important thing, because if I can't come back tomorrow, then it's game over. So
so that's a pearl as well. So do you use stops or do you use mental stops?
Yeah, I do use stops, but intraday you will see me without stops because I'm controlled. I know where I'm going to come out if something does happen. But if at that moment there was a catastrophe and it moved, a couple of hundred pips, then I probably would get caught. But that's not going to take my account. It's going to take maybe 3, 5, maximum 10% of my account at that point.
Because I used to use mental stops, and my first stop was a mental institution.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'd like, this is your time, your website, exacttrading.com. You said you have a small community. Perhaps you want to talk about what you do and how you teach. It sounds like you have a few different things going on, working for a bank and trying to train retail traders, prop traders. Why don't you tell me about your model, Paul?
Yeah, so what I'm actually trying to do, Dale, is that shortly, probably within 18 months, I'm going to be coming out of the banks because I prefer, now to actually be working for myself. I've been working for the banks for long enough. And I'm just starting to, I produced a product called Forex Uncensored, which is 27 modules, video modules, where I basically instruct people about how I see the market. And it's price action trading. So I'm trying to be the specialist in price action on the net, coupled with this momentum trading. That's the start. I'm starting Exact Trading TV in January. So I'm basically taking one foot out of the banks and putting it into my own company, my own business, and trying to do some ethical forex trading. Actually, trying to help people as opposed to the hype. And I've got people on Twitter who follow me, who are doing well. They haven't bought the course or anything, but that's okay because they're starting to do well, and I'm sure at a certain stage in the future they will come back to me for even one-to-one or even more specialist training to get to the next level. So stuff, what goes around comes around. And if we can get a few more retail traders actually profitable and understanding that, this is where the banks, this is how they do it. Because I always say this, if the banks are always winning, who do you think is short here and who do you think is buying here? So it must be them that's shorting here and it must be them that's closing out here. So we need to find out what they're doing, and this is how they do it. And one of the reasons why they do use these levels is because the levels, they do not lie. If you have a fib chart, it depends on where you do, the high point of the fib to draw to the line. Is it here or is it this one? Do you stop here or are you going to stop at this one? All these things which cause confusion, and the same thing with trend lines. With these monthlies and weeklies, nobody can argue about that. It's fact. It's in the market, and this is what they used. Certainly, a lot of places where I've been, in order to enter and exit the market in any size.
Paul,
so the model
is for Exact Trading TV. Is it going to be a YouTube channel, or are you going to use some type of streaming software? For your broadcast?
I've got YouTube. I've got YouTube channel at the moment, but what I'm hoping to do is to do some live streaming. So they can see, similar to what we're doing now, in real time. You can see the trades go on, and we just have a community of however many people it is, 20, 50 or 100, and they can then just take the trades, but essentially to actually learn how to take those trades, as opposed to just being, to feed a fish for me, but to learn themselves and maybe even add something which can make us even more profitable. Because, hey, I'm an old guy now, but I mean, I can still learn. You can teach a dog a new trick or whatever it is. Maybe there's some new stuff which I can also learn myself. So.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, Paul.
There's that. There's that as well. There's that as well.
So I want to thank you. It's really a pleasure meeting you, and I'm hoping for you and all the citizens of your country that life goes back to normal for you, and you could travel without looking over your shoulder, and that you could go to the grocery store and fill up a cart, and those things that we take for granted every day. Huh, Paul? It's definitely a lesson. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. No, thank you, Dale. And I'm wishing all you guys in the States a happy Thanksgiving as well, because I know that's a very important day. My daughter is actually at an international school here, so she has a lot of American friends, and a lot of them have flown back out to the States to be with their families. So I'm going to wish you a great day tomorrow and a really good holiday weekend.